Hello children, let us continue the lesson our constitution under political science. In previous class, we have discussed the meaning of the constitution, our constitution, and also the position of India prior to the framing of constitution, that is in starting of the independent India, and also we discussed about the framing committee and also the drafting committee. Do you remember who is known as the chief architect of constitution? That is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And I also explained the person who was behind to solve the problems of the pre-independent India. That is none other than Vallabhbhai Patel, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who is also called as Iron Man of India. Children, let us continue today with the preamble of the Constitution. What do you mean by preamble to the Constitution? Let us start with the meaning. In this session, let us discuss about the meaning of preamble, the contents of preamble, and also the salient features of our Constitution, fundamental rights and duties, and directive principles to the government. Okay, we will start now with the meaning of preamble. What do you mean by preamble? Preamble is a sum of the structure, values, principles, and goals of the Constitution. The preamble of the Constitution of India is a brief introductory statement. It is an introductory statement that sets out guidelines which guide the people of the nation and to present the principles of the constitutions and to indicate the source from which the document derives its authority and also the meaning. Okay, children, I hope you understood the meaning of preamble. Children, the preamble is a part of the objective resolution put forward by Jawaharlal Nehru. Yes, I know. You all know who is Jawaharlal Nehru. He was the first Prime Minister of independent India. Yes, children, Jawaharlal Nehru on December 13th, 1946, he put forward the preamble to the Constitution. So, and it was approved by the Constituent Assembly on January 22nd, 1947. This resolution uphold the nature of India's sovereign, democratic, republic nature, social, economic and political justice for all the people, all the citizens of India. Children, let me read out what is in the preamble. Preamble to the Constitution. Preamble to the Constitution. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all the citizens, all its citizens, justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity and to promote among them all, fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt an act and give to ourselves this Constitution. The words socialist and secular were not added before. Okay, it was added by the 42nd Constitution Amendment Act in 1976. Children, please notify this. The socialist and secular, what I read before, was not added before. It was not there in the preamble before, but in 1976 under 42nd Constitution Amendment Act, it has been added. Children, let us go through the content. I will explain you the content of the preamble. See, when I was reading, I started to read we, the Indian citizens. What does it mean? Children, we, the Indian citizen means we the citizens of India, the Indian constitution is framed by the Indians. It tries to fulfill the dreams of Indians. Yes, it is made to fulfill the dreams of Indian. And do you know this? It was the preamble has been described as jewel of Constitution. Jewel of Constitution. K.M. Munshi has referred it as political horoscope. Keep in mind, I may ask you a question about this. So, preamble has been described as jewel of Constitution, and also K.M. Munshi has referred it as political horoscope. Yes, let us back to here, and we, the Indian citizen, I explained you this. The preamble of the Constitution begins with we, the citizens of India, as I read before. Yes, the Indian Constitution is framed by Indians, correct? It is framed by the Indians, to whom those are, it is for the Indians itself. It's put efforts, or it tries to fulfill the dreams of Indians. The next one is sovereign. Children, sovereign. India is not under the control of any country. India has its own policies. It don't want to be in the hands of any of the country. Got it? So it has own rules, own regulations, own foreign rules, and also non-alignment policies and 5-year plans, which has given rise to the improvement externally, internally, internal and external autonomy. There we have got internal and external autonomy. We have achieved internal and external autonomy through these rules and regulations. So we are sovereign country. We are not under any control. India is not under the control of any of the country. Yes, we will move on to socialist. What do you mean by socialist? Socialist means our constitution states that everyone should get social equality. Okay, children, the goal of our constitution is to create social equality and promote welfare of all the people in our country. To enable this, directive principle to the state policy have been incorporated in the constitution. The amendment for this is 42nd amendment, which was done in 1976. Through this amendment, land reforms, other progressive economic reforms were introduced. So, socialist means India, means our constitution of India, goal is to create social equality and also promote welfare of all the people in a country. Children, next point is secular. When I was reading you the preamble, I said the secular. What do you mean by secular? Children, India is called as a secular country. Why? Children, in our country, India is a secular country because the people belongs to different religion lives together with harmony in India. So, according to this secular, no religion has been given the status of national religion. So, every religions are equal. No religion has given any status of national religion. Every citizens have their own rights or liberty to practice any religion desired by them. Okay, if we the citizens, we have every freedom. We have freedom. Okay, we have liberty to choose or to follow the religion, to practice the religion whichever we want, whichever we desire. So there is no restriction by anyone and not to practice the religion, and no one should force any person to convert to the different religion. Though this amendment is like all religions have equal status in India. I explained you all religion has the equal status. Here Muslim is not great, or Hindu religion is not great, or Christianity is not great. Everyone have the equal rights, equal liberty. Next, we move on to the democratic republic. Yes, children, you know that what is democracy. In simple words, it is defined by Abraham Lincoln, a president of USA. He has described, or he has given a definition to democracy. I know you all remember this. Democracy means what? democracy is a type of government which is for the people, of the people, and by the people. Yes, so you know that in democratic republic countries, the leaders or the government will be elected by the people. So the problems are solved through discussions, and also securing the happiness of everyone is the responsibility, providing the basic needs to the citizens, okay? And the responsibility of keeping everyone happy, the citizens happy, is the responsibility of the government. Problems are solved through discussions. Elections are held every 5 years. Every 5 years, the elections will be there through universal adult franchise. So means the citizen who attempt 18 years and above can vote. Okay, vote. This is called adult franchise. Okay, you know that. If you want to get voting power, it is after 18. When you attend 18 and after 18, you can vote the elections. The fact that our head of state is the President of India. Yes, you know all. The first citizen of our India is our President. Even for choosing him, who is elected for a period of 5 years. Yes, no, he will be elected for 5 years, proves that our country is a republic. Even he will be indirectly elected by the people. So this proves that India is a democratic republic. So let us revise once whatever we have studied now, that is meaning of preamble. Preamble is the sum of the structure, values, principles, and goals of the Constitution. Preamble has been described as jewel of Constitution. K.M. Munshi has referred it as political horoscope. So the content of the preamble, I read you. What are the contents of preamble? Here is a brief explanation about that. It starts from we, the Indian citizens. It means that this constitution is framed for the citizens and by the Indians and also for the Indians. Sovereign India is not under the control of any country. It has its own rules and regulations, foreign policies, non-alignment for policies, and also 5-year plans, which has led to the improvement internally and external autonomy. And also socialist, yes, according to this point, the people of India has equal social rights. Okay, goal of our constitution is to create social equality. The next point is secular. India is called a secular country. So the word secular has been incorporated through 42nd Amendment in 1976. And also secular means, I said you, India is a secular country where the people belong to different religion live together here with harmony. So no religion has been given the status of national religion. Every religion has a equality. Any person, any citizen of our country can practice any religion of their desire, and no one has rights to force a citizen to change their religion. Okay, to change their religion. Okay, the last one is democratic republic, under which we will appoint. See, according to Abraham Lincoln, I said you, our democracy. What do you mean by democratic country? So democracy means the government of the people, for the people, by the people. So in India, we the citizens will choose by electing, choose our government, who should rule us. We will elect our government. So by elections, who can vote? That is the citizen who attend 18 years and above can participate in the elections. Even the first citizen of India, the president, the head of the union government, the president is also being elected by the people indirectly, who will rule us for 5 years. I hope you understood the preamble and content of the preamble. Next, let us move on to the salient features of our Constitution. Salient features of our Constitution. Children, let us study the salient features of Constitution. As the citizens of India, we want to understand what are the advantages or features of our Constitution, the essence of our Constitution. Okay, let us start with the salient features of our constitution. The first is written and lengthy constitution. Yes, you all know that our constitution is a written constitution. Our constitution is in written form, the powers and functions of the organs of government, and like the legislature, executive and judiciary have been delineated in the constitution. Yes, children. So the powers and functions of the different organs of government, which are the three organs of government, that is legislature, the executive and the judiciary. So the organs and also its functions has been delineated in the constitution. Fundamental rights, duties, the directive principles of the state policy, etc., are being mentioned in the constitution in written form. So, our constitution is called as written constitution. And also, children, it is a lengthy constitution. Why? Because originally our constitution consisted of 22 chapters, 8 schedules, and 395 articles. Yes, originally it consisted 22 chapters, 8 schedules, and 395 articles. But later on, after the many amendments, after many changes, many amendments, it consists 25 chapters, 12 schedules, and 465 articles. Yes, children, once again, originally, it consists 22 chapters, 8 schedules, and 395 articles. But after many amendments, it has become lengthy. It has 25 chapters, 12 schedules, and 465 articles. So it is called as lengthy constitution. So together, written and lengthy constitution. So next point, partially flexed and partially rigid. Our constitution is partially flexible and also partially rigid constitution. The constitution which can be easily amended, which can be easily amended. Amended means we can make some minor changes. Okay, that is known as flexible or simple constitution. But constitutions that have special procedures for amendment are called rigid or complicated constitution. Our constitution is neither too flexible nor too rigid. Okay, it is not too flexible also for amendment, and it is not too rigid also. Next, we move on to parliamentary form of government. Yes, children, our constitution provides for a parliamentary form of government. The sovereign power of the nation is vested in the elected parliament. Yes, the executive is responsible to the legislature at the central and state level. Yes, the executives such as the central and state executives are responsible or answerable to the legislature at the central and state levels. The cabinet shall be in power as long as it enjoys the confidence of the legislature. As soon as it loses the confidence of legislature, it has to resign. The government has to resign. Either it is the state or the central executive. But once it loses the confidence of legislature, it has to resign. I hope you understood parliamentary form of government. Next is the republican system. You can see, I hope, republican system. Children, the constitution has declared India as a republic country. The head of the country is indirectly elected by the citizen. Thus, the head of the country, that is our president. The president is the constitutional head of state, and he is elected indirectly by the citizens of our country. So it is called as republican system. Then we move on to federal system. Children, our constitution provides for a federal system of government because our country consists of different languages. Yes, our country, the people of our country will speak different languages. They are from different castes, they are from different races, and they are from different geographical regions. Yes, so administration powers are shared by the central and state governments. The Supreme Court possesses powers to solve all the disputes rising between the center and the state with the respect of the subject. Yes, children, federal system, under federal system, our constitution provides a federal system of government because our country consists of different languages. Yes, no, people of our country will speak different languages. They are from different region, different geographical region. They are from different caste, and also race or religion. So administration powers. So administration powers are shared between by the state and central government. The Supreme Court possesses powers to solve all the disputes between the state and central government with subject to any of the with the respect of any subject. So let us move on to fundamental right, which you want to understand, which we all want to understand more, which we are going to discuss about fundamental rights and fundamental duties, the directive principles of state policy in deep. Now, I'm going to brief you what are the fundamental rights, what is fundamental duties, and what about the directive principle of state policy. In next session or next class, I'm going to deeply explain you what are the fundamental rights, what are the fundamental duties and directive principles of state policy. So, fundamental rights, the rights that the Constitution has given to the people are called fundamental rights. Yes, you have studied this before, but in this class, in the next class, we are going to deeply discuss about these fundamental rights, duties and directive principles. No law of any government, maybe central or state or any organization can deny these rights. There's no one has right to trouble the rights of the people. If the fundamental rights are taken away or endangered, if anyone's fundamental rights are taken away or endangered, the citizen can directly appeal. Any citizen is having trouble with these fundamental rights. If someone is troubling him with or endangered, if his rights are endangered, he can approach High Court or Supreme Court. He can appeal to High Court and Supreme Court. These rights are listed in the third part of the Constitution. Children, the fundamental rights has been listed in the third part of the Constitution. Yes, next we move on to fundamental duties. Yes, before we discussed about fundamental rights, the same way, even the fundamental duties also important, which should be the discharged by the citizens. So, fundamental duties which should be discharged by us, by the citizens, also been stated in the Constitution. Okay, let us move on to this point, fundamental duties. Duties are our responsibilities towards our country. 11 fundamental duties have been delineated in the A part of the 4th chapter under class 51A of our Constitution. Through the 86th Amendment to the Constitution in 2002, it has been made a duty of parents to provide compulsory education. So, to their children aged between 6 to 14 years. This is the 11th duty mentioned in the Constitution, means the 11th duty. So, total 11 duties has been instructed in the Constitution, has been delineated in the Constitution. In the A part of the 4th chapter under class 51A of our Constitution, through the 86th Amendment of the Constitution in 2002, it has been made a duty of parents. This 11th, what is the 11th duty is? 11th duty mentioned in the Constitution is the duty of parent to provide compulsory education to their children aged between 6 to 14 years. This is the 11th duty which has been mentioned in the Constitution. Other duties we are going to discuss in next class. very deeply under fundamental rights also we are going to discuss, and fundamental duties also, and directive principles of state policy also. Okay, directive principle of state policy. I said you directive principle of state policy. I'm going to brief about that now. Children, directive principle of state policy have been incorporated in the fourth schedule of our constitution, where it is incorporated in the fourth schedule of our constitution. These principles have been adopted from the Irish constitution. So, the principles they have adopted from the Irish country's constitution. They are the basic for the establishment of social and economic equality. Yes, children, please keep in mind these principles. The directive principles of state policy has been adopted from Irish constitution, from the Irish country's constitution. They are the basic for the establishment of social and economic equality. They are the basic principles required for the administration of the country. Yes, if a government if you think a new government has come to rule, so they should before understand, means the government should be aware of the directive principles. Okay, the government cannot be questioned by a court of justice if it does not implement them. When the government frames new laws, it should pay attention to these principles while they are amending the law, or while the government is bringing a new law. They should pay attention to the principles which has been mentioned in our constitution. I hope you understood directive principles. Next, let us move on to independent and centralized judiciary system. Judiciary system, yes, where we will get justice. Those are the courts. Yes, you know, Supreme Court is the highest court in a country. Yes, no, and for state, which is the court, the highest court for a state. For state, it is the High Court. Yes, children, our judiciary is independent and centralized. The courts have the authority to give bold judgment in order to protect the right of the people. They have the freedom. No one, even the executives or the legislature, cannot involve in the judgment of this judiciary. Yes, children, neither the legislature nor the executive have the right to interfere with the working of the judiciary. No one have rights, even our prime minister or the officials, they don't have rights to involve or interfere with the working of judiciary. So the Supreme Court is, as I said you, the Supreme Court is the highest court of any country, and High Court for us in our country, High Court is the highest court for the state. State-wise, highest court is High Court, and the country-wise Supreme Court will be the highest court. So I hope you understood about this judiciary, independent and centralized judiciary system. The judiciary system or the courts have their freedom, they have independence to give the justice to the people. Let us move on to single citizenship. What do you mean by single citizenship? The Constitution makes provision for single citizenship in order to curb narrow-minded provincialism and promote nationalism. The citizens of this country have the same right irrespective of their place of birth or residence. The legislature possesses the power to frame rules in the matter. Yes, children. So, the Constitution makes provision for single citizenship in order to curb narrow-minded provincialism. So, and promote nationalism. Yes, the national integrity is very important. So, to promote nationalism, the Constitution makes provision for single citizenship. Okay. Next, we move on to adult franchise. What do you mean by adult franchise? The Constitution provides for adult franchise. All the citizens above 18 years who will attend 18 and above 18 years. After 18 years, the citizens can participate in election and may exercise their right to vote. What I said is, like, they can participate in electing the government. So it symbolizes the sovereign absolute power of the people. Yes, children. So when you attend 18, after that you can participate in voting. So this the adult franchise will is a point through which we can understand a person, a citizen will get power to vote after he attend 18. So, bicameral legislature. Let us go on to the bicameral legislature. So, children, the central legislature is called parliament. The central legislature is called as parliament. The parliament consists of two houses. You all know that. The lower house and the upper house. So, again, I'll come back. The central legislature is called parliament. The parliament consists of two houses. Which are the two houses? The lower house called as Lok Sabha and the upper house called as Rajya Sabha. Yes, I hope you know this. Let me continue. The bicameral legislature. So we have in the constitution we have this, that is bicameral legislature. The central legislature is called parliament. Parliament has two houses. One is the lower house and one is the upper house. Our lower house is known as Lok Sabha, upper house is known as Rajya Sabha. Next, let us move on to the party system. The last point of the salient features of our constitution is the party system. Children, political parties are the pillar of a democracy. Yes, I said you, democracy means it is for the people, of the people and by the people. So these political parties which we will choose, okay, we will choose them to rule us or administrate us. So those political parties are the pillar of any democratic country. So there is a multi-party system in India. Yes, you know that we have multi-parties. Example, BJP, Congress, JDS, many political parties we have in India. The parties which win the majority, you all are aware of it, I suppose. The parties which win the majority of votes in the general elections become the ruling party, and whereas the rest will be in the opposition party. Do you know that the opposition party have rights to question the works of the ruling party? Yes, children, I hope you understood so far the salient features of our constitution. So, let me repeat again. Our country's constitution is written and lengthy constitution. It is in written form. All the fundamental duties, fundamental rights, the directive principles of state policies, the organs of government and its functions. The organs of government such as legislature, the executive and judiciary, their functions has been delineated in our constitution. It is in written form. So it is called as written constitution, and also it is a lengthy constitution because originally it consists 22 chapters and 8 schedules and 395 articles. But after some amendments, after the many amendments, now it is changed to 25 chapters, 12 schedules and 465 articles. So it is known as lengthy constitution, and it is very partially flexible and partially rigid because the amendments, the constitution, our constitution, we can do some amendments. Somewhere the rule that is flexible and somewhere it is rigid. It is not either rigid or it is not either flexible. Okay. And next is parliamentary form of government. And the next point is republic system. What about a republic system is, children, the constitution has declared India as a republic country. We will elect our administrators, our government who want to rule us. Even the president of our country, the head of the constitutional head of the state is also elected indirectly by the public or the citizens. So federal system, I said you, our constitution provides for a federal system of government because our country consists of different languages, the people of different caste, different races and also from different region. So administration powers are being shared by the central and state government, if they have any conflict, any problem, Supreme Court has the rights. So the Supreme Court possesses the powers to solve all the problems or disputes raised between the state and central government. So fundamental rights, so it is listed in the third part of Constitution. The rights that the Constitution has given to the people are called fundamental rights. I said you, no law of the government or the central or state or any organization, any executives have rights to take away the right of the citizens, or like if the fundamental rights are taken away or endangered, the citizens can directly, the citizen who is who has lack of this right can approach the Supreme or High Court, okay, legally. And then comes the fundamental duties. Duties are our responsibilities towards our country. So 11 fundamental duties have been delineated in the A part of the fourth chapter under clause 51A of our Constitution. So the last, see here, briefly, I said you fundamental duties and rights and directive principles we are going to study in deep in next session or next class. So here, fundamental, the last 11th fundamental duty has been instructed or has been written in Constitution is that it is mentioned after the amendment, that is it has made a duty of the parent to provide compulsory education to their children aged between 6 and to 14 years. This is the 11th duty mentioned in the Constitution. Next is directive principles of state policy. Yes, so this principle states that have been adopted from the Irish Constitution. Yes, this principle, the directive principles of state policy have been adopted from the Irish Constitution. They are the basis for the establishment of social and economic equality. When government frames law, it should, when a new government, upcoming government, they want to keep in mind, they want to pay attention, if they want to change any law, they want to amend any law, they want to bring a new rules or law, they want to pay attention to those of the principle, directive principle, which has been mentioned which has been delineated in the Constitution. Next is independent and centralized judiciary system, where judiciary system has full power, or it is independent to give the judgment. So no executive or the legislature can involve. They should not interfere. They are not allowed to interfere in the judiciary system. Okay. Next is the single citizenship. The Constitution makes provision for single citizenship in order to curb narrow-minded provincialism and promote nationalism. So next is the adult franchise, means the Constitution provides for adult franchise. All citizens above 18 years may exercise their right to vote. You know that. So above 18 years even you will get the rights to vote. Okay, to participate in elections. Then the bicameral legislature. So the central legislature is called Parliament. The Parliament consists of two houses. One is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Lower house is known as Lok Sabha, and also the upper house is known as Rajya Sabha. Then comes the party system. Political parties are the pillars of our democracy. There is a multi-party system in India, and the parties which win the majority of votes in the general election becomes the ruling party, whereas the other parties will be in opposition party. Other parties will be in opposition position. Okay, so the party which wins the majority of votes in the general election becomes the ruling party, and whereas the rest will be in the opposition party. I hope you understood the salient features of our Constitution, which is very important. Please keep in mind and note down the points and study Well, in next session or next class, we are going to discuss in deep about fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and directive principles of state policy. Thank you, children.